The final Age of Triumph reveal stream is all about the armor and weapons that you'll be getting from raids. The first thing we'll talk about, though, is elemental primary weapons. Elemental primary weapons are back with some caveats. Elemental primary weapons are now exotic. They are essentially adept versions of the weapons. They drop from the challenge modes of the raids. So once a week, whatever the weekly raid is, you go do that, do the challenge modes, and you get a chance at an elemental primary. There are non-adept versions of the elemental primary weapons, but obviously they will not have the elemental property on them. Only the adept versions will. Most of the old elemental primary weapons have the same elements on them, but King's Fall and Wrath of the Machine are getting elemental primaries added to their loot tables. While we're talking about raid weapons, the Mythoclast is back, has a new ornament, but otherwise remains unchanged. It has the same functionality. Necrochasm, on the other hand, is getting a much needed buff. It no longer requires a headshot kill to activate the Cursed Thrall explosion. You just need to kill a target and the explosion will happen. Black Hammer is not returning as a weapon. Black Spindle is here, it will remain to be here, so Black Hammer will not be creating any sort of confusion. Most, if not all, other weapons will be returning to be available to drop at max light. Otherwise, for the most part, most of the stream was a fashion show of the new raid armor coming with the Age of Triumph, and it is the best looking armor Bungie has put out in the history of this game. Here we have the Vault of Glass gear for all classes, the ornaments giving you sort of blue highlights, the Warlock having some tendrils on their back, the Titan with the giant Wi-Fi signal-like shield on their back. Next, we have the Crota armor, the ornaments giving you bright green extensions of your armor of a hive-like nature. They even added a little extra thing where if you're shot, the lights go out on your armor and recover about a second or two later. Nice little touch with that. The King's Fall armor has the same effect as the Crota armor with the whole lights going out thing when you're shot, but the lighting is a little more subtle than the Crota's end armor. Nice blue sort of touch with the black. Finally, Wrath of the Machine is getting revamped ornaments featuring the most special effects of any armor set. Lots of red and white lights on each piece of armor, a lot of moving parts. Now, for these ornaments, it was said on stream that you can, for example, use ornaments dropped from Crota's End to instead use on your Vault of Glass gear if you wanted to do that, which leads me to believe that the ornaments from each raid all have the same name. They're just going to be raid ornaments, not specifically Vault of Glass ornament, Crota's End ornament. So if you want to deck yourself out in Vault of Glass gear first, you can use all of your ornaments on that. And I assume King's Fall and Wrath of the Machine also follow the same rules. Finally, we have the Age of Triumph armor set. This comes from the Eververse boxes that you buy, but remember that you can get up to 3 boxes per week for free. These are much more of a retro look and use chroma, so you have a lot more options in terms of color. The class item is a drop from completing the quest that the speaker will give you when the update drops. Again, if you want a deeper look at the armor sets, the past broadcast is in the description of this video. Definitely recommend checking it out. We're going to move to the balance changes coming with this patch. Some of these I already talked about in a previous video, so I'll try to make this quick. So the health on kill abilities that were affected last patch, stuff like Transfusion and Hungering Blade, some of those are being reverted to how they were before the patch, and some of those are not. The ones that are not being reverted are getting buffed to regenerate a larger portion of health, so they should be more reliable. More notes on that in the description. Check out the Bungie post. Blink is getting buffed. They are reducing the amount of time that your HUD is not on your screen and are removing the recovery nerfs that happened quite a long time ago. Truth, the exotic rocket launcher, is getting a rocket added to its reserve capacity, and its reload speed will now be maxed out. No Land Beyond is getting tweaked to behave more like a traditional sniper rifle, one that actually goes in the special slot. It's still a primary weapon, same ammo situation, but maybe the No Flinch Beyond nickname might start to lose a little bit of its luster. No Land Beyond also has a new ornament, digital camo. Sidearm ammo is getting changed. No longer will you be able to hoard sidearm ammo for entire games. When you die with a sidearm, you will respawn with 1 magazine's worth of ammo, and that's it. Special ammo boxes are getting a change as well, where when you pull the box, it will automatically reload your weapon. It behaves like a heavy ammo box now. As for weapon archetypes, hand cannons are being dialed back just a little bit on their range, about 3 meters, and auto rifles are getting their range extended a bit to be more effective. Finally, the scories change will be happening in this patch as well, where you need to get a kill in order to activate the scories effect, and the effect will last for 60 seconds. In PvE, this is basically a non-factor, but in PvP, specifically Trials, this is a big nerf. It will not stay active in between rounds of Trials. You will need a kill every single round in order to activate the scories effect. It's not a complete removal of scories from PvP, but, it's a good compromise, I think. Anyway, that is all for the stream. As for my thoughts, Bungie has nailed raid armor with the ornaments. Raid armor has progressively gotten better and better, but with this final update, Bungie really put something special together. These are raid armor sets. That is how I want to look after maxing out my gear and maxing out the raids. Sick armor, special effects, glowing lights, and every single set looks fantastic. Bravo. It is phenomenal. I hope we see this in Destiny 2 and the future, because it looks fantastic. Elemental primaries, I think, were handled very well. They are basically the best weapons in the game, at least for PvE, and should require people to beat the hardest PvE content in the game to get them. That's just my personal philosophy. However, the fact that all of these weapons are available in their non-elemental form is also a very good thing, as I believe most of the power of these super old weapons were not in their elements specifically, but in their raw stats and perks. Fatebringer was amazing because Firefly Outlaw was amazing. The arc damage was just icing on the cake. I wasn't too surprised that they came back, but the way it was handled surprised me in a good way. Nice job there. The change to Necrochasm also excites me greatly. I am fine with the sandbox changes. The health buffs are nice, the sidearm change is great for PvP. I think the hand cannon change is fair, because they're still very dominant. We'll see how that goes. Although one thing I was hoping for was a change to special ammo in Trials. Right now, you basically need to run with the sidearm. After the patch, sidearms might still be a thing, but I think they're just going to be replaced with Icebreaker and possibly Invective as well. Maybe they still have a change in mind that they haven't spoken about, but I really hope this is addressed in some way before the end of Destiny 1. I don't want Trials to remain in the state that it is in for the rest of the game, but we'll see. Maybe with the No Land Beyond changes and the sidearm changes, we'll see more primary fights. Who knows? Anyway, that is your final stream reveal summary for the final update for Destiny 1. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Right now, though. Not right now.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah,
You can
no,
tell.
no, I
You can
know.
tell. He's aiming it
That
up.
trigger finger has just got to be itching right now. But don't do it, bro.
Sweet shotgun action.
Looking nasty. Looking like a Kell of Kells right now.
And then all the way at the end, we
Oh,
have...
my baby.
Yeah, so
Look at that.
Suros has always been our Italian car company of weapon manufacturers.
Of course.
And this kind of celebrates that. So we've got the gold and black.
An ornament, Titan.
There it is. So it's sort of an inverted version of the original.
Yeah.
It's more the prototypical variation.